Right, welcome back. We continue our discussion now with Abraham Mahlangu, who is the acting CEO of SASSA. Again, thank you very, very much for your time. I just want to draw your attention, just for your own research, if you'd like to know a little bit more about the Banking Association. So I saw an article, it's here, on the investigation, this pending investigation. It's a confirmation from the Banking Association. They are investigating the conduct of SASSA and the South African Post Office regarding the opening of accounts after they received a complaint from Finbond Mutual Bank. And BASA saying, we can confirm receiving a letter of complaint regarding SASSA and related matters. We are aware that discussions are underway to resolve the issue and interested beneficiaries. So there you have it. Just so you know, they have confirmed it and they are in the media talking about it. So I'm not sure why you're not aware of it.
Well, we will cooperate with the investigation, and as it comes forward, I definitely had not seen that particular investigation report, but we will be working with BASA. We've been working with them very closely, so we don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to look at what the issues are and resolve them as SASSA.
Okay, perfect. Let's have a look at some of the tweets that have been coming in from our viewers, and this is what they are saying and experiencing. So if we can just put those up on the screen, we've been receiving quite a few of them. Pindile is saying, I just want to know from the CEO, those people who never draw all of their money last month, are they going to receive it this month? That's a question from Pindile. So will this be carried over to this month?
Yes, the people who didn't receive all of their money in their cards, if they left some balances, yes, they will get all of the amounts in this payment cycle. Okay. And even if they don't withdraw all of the amount this month, the following month, the money will still be in the new SASSA card. It will not disappear.
Okay, okay, that's reassuring for her. Let's put another question up on the screen. Zico Smith, I've seen many people running around this week trying to change their old SASSA card as they were told, come 1st of September, it won't work anymore. How true is this? That's an important question. So let's get some clarity on the cards.
We are encouraging our beneficiaries to swap their cards from the old SASSA card to the new SASSA card, and before the end of September. And we are doing that to just ensure that we streamline our payment method that we have been talking about with the new SASSA card, and to ensure that when they've got the new card, they won't have these illegal deductions that have been plaguing them. They won't have these insurance deductions that they don't know about. They won't have these other funnies that were happening in their accounts. So we're encouraging them that they should do that as quickly as possible to ensure that we protect them from other illegal deductions that were happening, because in this new SASSA card, we don't have those illegal deductions, and there are very less charges that they will be experiencing as they use this card. In fact, there are a couple of withdrawals that are for free.
Okay. What's also happening with the legal proceedings around Grindrod? Because we know that this was also a major problem. And when we talk about fees being increased on cards of up to, I think it's around about 40% or somewhere around there, that they used to pay a fee of 6.91. It went up to 10 Rand for these cards now, and a commission that they take off the card, and this is particularly pertaining to Grindrod. And in 1 month alone, Grindrod makes 54 million Rand. And this is just absolutely crazy when you think about the amount of money that's being made off the most vulnerable, the vulnerable of the vulnerable that cannot afford 10 Rand. And that's a reality. What's happening with this?
I would like to say to the beneficiaries and the viewers out there that to us this was not acceptable. We have entered into discussions with Grindrod, and this matter is before the courts. We believe that the escalation of the charges from 6.91 to 10 Rand, it is not acceptable. Therefore, the matter is in the courts, and the ruling will be made in due course.
Okay. Again, moving through a lot of issues quickly, SASSA strike. Now, the Public Servants Association saying it'll shut down SASSA offices. And this is a very, very big one because SASSA, the PSA are making huge demands on SASSA. And this is something I don't think you need at this time. What is happening? Give us an update on the negotiations.
We have interdicted the strike, and the matter is also in the courts. Yesterday, the courts adjourned, and the request was that SASSA go and indicate exactly who are will be affecting the beneficiaries in the payment of grants that might be participating in the strike. So that information will be given to the courts so that the judges can make a determination. I would want to emphasize that there has been a lot of discussions and meetings between us and PSA. It is not true that we have not been discussing or meeting with them. We have met several times with them, with the minister, and we have been discussing issues where perhaps there was a misunderstanding or misinterpretation of how SASSA was established and where do we bargain and where do we negotiate. So there's been ongoing discussions, and for us, we just wanted that the payment of social grants to our most vulnerable shouldn't be affected by these particular activities. I want to mention as well that the payment of grants is a value chain process. It is if one person applies for grant and the person that's supposed to accept that application is not at work, there's no way that payment will actually be effected. If somebody that supports the grant payment system is on strike, he may not be physically paying the grant, but he actually affects the value chain, and therefore a grant will not be paid. If a person who works at the call center is on strike and a person is trying to make an inquiry about the payment of grant and there's no one to answer the call, we believe grant payment is being affected. It is for that reason that we believe the value chain of grant payments will be disrupted if people continue to be inconsiderate of the people service delivery to the most vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, let's once again give out information, because I think that this is the most important part of this interview, as much as there's all of these different issues before the courts, which is very, very unsettling, because every single issue that you have right now is before the court, and that has nothing to do with the person who is going to go to bed starving tonight, because they cannot even access their money. And this is the biggest problem, is they can't get 10 Rand just to get themselves something to eat. You promised food vouchers. I want to get more information again about these vouchers. So where can they access them? If it's not working and they're not able to get their money, who is entitled to it? Where can they redeem it? If you can just give me that information, so that at least they've got something.
As a caring social security agency, we are saying the way of activating relief measure is done through our regional management. So we are going to first monitor the situation and see what progress is being made as the system is improving. But if it doesn't, there are long queues by past midday, we will start following a process of making sure that the regional management teams are closer to the affected, and it is easy for us to activate those vouchers. We don't necessarily, send them to people. We get close to where they are, and we actually give them as the deserving people. But we need controls as well in the process to make sure that those that have got their grants do not necessarily come also and claim the food vouchers if we need to activate that. So there will be strict controls around the queues, strict controls about the point of contact with SASSA.
Okay, so what you're saying is this is something you're going to assess at 12 o'clock this afternoon, midday. If things are not going smoothly, then you'll start implementing, giving out food vouchers and the likes. That's what you're saying to South Africans. So you are you're reassuring people that if things are not sorted, which you are hoping they will be by midday, then that'll be implemented.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We are expecting a very great improvement in the system, but we are saying we are putting contingency measures now that if the improvement is not visible by the midday, we will activate relief measures of different kinds.
There's one final question I've got for you, and that's as we enter into news. It is 7 o'clock here on the program, and this, of course, is our top story in the news, so that's why we're continuing to have you in here. But in terms of the advance payment of 541 million rand that SASSA made to the post office, why was this payment actually made?
Well, as an organ of state, we work with the South African Post Office as part of government-to-government collaboration. So to upgrade the infrastructure, to enable the insourcing of the payment function, we had to make sure that the funds are made available to improve this payment infrastructure, to make sure that where we need to upgrade post offices, where we need to expand outreach to our people, as we change the payment model or we phase out the current service provider, there's enough infrastructure. If you think about it, this function has been outsourced for many years, and the infrastructure was built over many years. And so now, as we insource it between government entities, us and SAPO, we needed to make sure that there is investment in the upgrade of the infrastructure. So it is for that reason that government-to-government collaboration agreed that we make sure that there's improvement in the infrastructure, and therefore the investment has to be made within government.
All right, we leave it there for this morning. Thank you very much for talking to us this morning all about SASSA and the social grant recipients. They're going to have to wait a few more days now, or at least until midday, where systems will hopefully be back on track and you'll be able to access those funds, because it has been a very, very difficult time for those that have been standing in queues from the early hours of Monday all the way through until today, to no avail. So it's been a difficult time. The acting CEO talking to us here on Morning Live for SASSA, Abraham Mahlangu.